What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Black, your internet relationship and breakup coach. Today's topic: this is the only thing that actually motivates your ex to come back to you. Now in this video, there's no fluff, there's no BS. We're just gonna get straight to the point, and I promise you this is gonna be helpful for you if you pay attention. A lot of times it's not necessarily what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear to move forward. Now, before we get started, I want each and every one of you that is watching this, I want you to take a quick second to leave a comment in the comment section. Just tell me what you're going through. Tell me about your breakup. Tell me about what you're feeling. And that would be helpful because it gives me insight about who's watching, but it also helps the channel out because it pushes this to other people who need it. Now, without further ado, let's just jump into it. Now, I want you to know, in starting this video, the first thing I wanted to demonstrate was this little factoid about human nature and the human mind. And what I want to stress to you is, let's take inventory of everybody watching who actually took the time to leave a comment. Not that you need to, it's not necessarily important. I was doing that to run a quick experiment. So maybe look at how many views it currently has versus the comments. And I bet you it's not going to be everybody that left a comment. Most people initially are not going to say anything. Why is this? Because the way the human mind works, we don't like other people necessarily telling us what to do. Even if they're kind about it, even if they're friendly, even if they make promises and they say, hey, do this and, it's gonna help me, right? No one really cares. And this is not a mean thing, it's not a hurtful thing, it's just the reality of human nature. And sometimes you might have felt a little bit of a resistance to when I say, hey, leave a comment. Some people are gonna be feeling like, now I'm not going to say anything. And it's not because we're bad people, right? It's because in human nature, we're always subtly or subconsciously thinking, what's in it for me? What am I getting out of this? So from the standpoint of making a video, if I was to do it the right way, what I should focus on is teaching you something, sharing a new insight with you, something that is helpful. And then that way, after you learn, maybe you think, hey, I want to leave feedback or I want to leave a comment, right? It's a symbiotic experience. And I want you to know your ex is exactly the same in that currently they do not care what you want. You can send them a message, you can send them paragraphs, you can try to remind them about the past, you can try to talk to them in a nurturing way, and most times it's going to fall on deaf ears, and in some cases they will have resistance in that the more that you try to appease them, the more you try to have a conversation, the more they resist you, right? You're actually giving them something to fight against. In this moment, the only thing your ex actually genuinely cares about is their own internal selfish desires. And I know that sounds harsh because, we like to think that we're all kind people and we would do favors to people if we care about them. Sure. But, everything that we do is motivated from our own internal desires. I have to really want this thing. I want to promise you, you've never done anything in your life for free. Like whether that's, going to the bathroom, right? Because you felt the urge to use the restroom, right? Or going out to eat. You have a desire to go get a certain type of food. And that's what motivates you to get in the car, to spend the money to get what you want. Even when we do favors for friends and family, sometimes there's a relationship that we have with them, and so they've done things for us in the past and we don't like to feel emotionally indebted to them, and so we will help them. There's a selfish gene in each and every one of us. So if your goal is to fix things with your ex, the easiest way to do so is to start thinking, what do they actually want? What is your ex's greatest desire right now. Now, initially, what they want is space. That's the truth. Because if they broke up with you, they had thought about it for some time. They started to think maybe that the grass is greener, that they'll find someone better than you, which most times is not the case. No one is you. And so your ex can't replace you, but it doesn't change that they feel that they can. And so initially, what your ex wants more than anything is that they want space and separation from you. So you need to give them that. Now, long term, what your ex is looking for is they're looking for a partner. They want someone who is confident, someone who is attractive, someone who has options, who is not desperate. So if you start thinking from that perspective, the value that you offer to your ex is for you to be independent. It's for you to stop chasing them, stop putting them on a pedestal, stop acting like you need them. This is actually way more attractive, right? Back to the example that I made earlier about this video, the value I offer you, instead of saying, hey, leave a comment, the value I offer is teaching you. That's what I'm bringing to the table, helping you through this process. And so you learn from me. I motivate you, right? And so on the flip side, the value your ex gets from you is that you become a catch. You become someone that they feel lucky to be with. And because they're looking at you from a distance as more attractive, and they're thinking, I would be lucky to be with her, now they start chasing you or they start pursuing you. It never works in the other direction. I want to give you a quick example. See, the other day I was sitting at home when I got a text message, and I went through my text message, and this was from an old colleague, old coworker I used to work with many years ago. And he texted me, he says, hey, I'd like for you to be a reference for me. I'm applying for a job. And keep in mind, it was a long day. I just worked with a bunch of clients. I was tired. I was trying to unwind. I was trying to relax. I had a bottle of Coke, just kick it back. And so when I got the message, I'm like, okay, sure. I can definitely help you out. No problem. And so right after I said this, I get a follow-up from him like 2 minutes later. He says, this is extremely urgent, and I need you to check your email. You're going to get a questionnaire, 50 questions about my work ethic, how I am, on the job and things like that. And it's very urgent. I need it done right away. And I remember thinking, what's in it for me? And, Coach is nice. I'm a nice person, right? And as much as I want to help people, I remember internally feeling a little bit of resistance because this guy hadn't checked up on me in like 6-7 years. And the last time I actually talked to him was him asking me to be a reference. So this seems to be an ongoing thing for him. He thinks he can depend on me to be a reference. And while I was open to doing so, I remember the moment he made it urgent, the moment he made it something I have to do now because that's what he wants, I felt a resistance. And I said, yeah, I'll do this, but I don't have to do it right now. It's not a priority for me. And I want you to know your ex is exactly the same way. So if you're feeling that urge in your heart right now, you're feeling that sense of wanting to do something, wanting to send a message, wanting to apologize to them, I want to promise you it will never work. Your ex does not care how you feel. They don't care right now that you're hurt. And I know it's hard to hear these things, but it's the truth. I want you to be prepared emotionally for the journey you have to go through, whether that's moving on to someone else or whether that's fixing things. If they broke the relationship, you need to let them come to you. This is the only way they will appreciate you again. This is the only way they will be willing to actually work for the relationship. You see, in the long run, like long term, you don't want to be with people who always run when things get hard. You don't want to be with people who give up on you because you made a mistake. You want people that will stick with you even in the worst of times. And your ex can learn that lesson. They can get to that place if you don't rob them of this opportunity to learn, to actually experience life without you, to suffer a little bit. All right, the battery died. But, the point I'm trying to drive home is this. If your ex is the one that broke the relationship, if they are the ones that walked away from you, you need to allow them to fix things with you. This is the only way that this relationship is going to work. Because right now, on some level, your ex thinks that they're better than you. They think that you're obsessed with them. And the more you chase, you actually emphasize these beliefs. It makes them think that they are so attractive and that you're so obsessed with them and that you're going to keep chasing them. And they get to this point where they feel like they never have to put in any work or any effort. So you have to relax. You'll feel feelings of doubt. You will feel feelings of insecurity and wanting to send them a message to express to them how you feel. But I want you to know, the more anxious you are, you end up doing things that actually make it worse. And then you send them a text and then you regret. All right? You feel bad. You feel silly for texting them. Do not text them if they are willing to lose you. After everything that you've done for them, after everything you've invested in them, if they're willing to walk away from you forever, then let them do so. Dare them to walk away. Dare them to find someone better. And a lot of times they won't, right? But you have to sit through this process. Don't be anxious. Don't try to force things. And understand the only thing that motivates them to come back is their own internal desire for you. Anyway, if you have any thoughts, comments, drop them down in the comment section below. If you want to talk to me about your situation and your breakup, click the first link in the description and I'll be happy to help you and talk through what exactly you're going through. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.